Time to rank the Vols position units for 2024. If you want to set that up, what do you got, sir?
Yeah, let's have a little fun. Alrighty, so we are ranking the position units by how good they are. Just a quick heads up. I didn't factor in returners because I'm not sure that's really a position group, but I did factor in kickers and punters as one position group. I also separated defensive linemen and edge rushers because I think it's officially time we make edge rusher its own position at this point in football. So That's where I go. Number 10, the worst position group on Tennessee this year is running back.
I can't argue with that, but I think it's better than you do. And I think Deshaun Bishop is maybe a little bit better than I thought initially based off some recent conversations. So, but I can't argue that it's 10th. Secondary, you have 9th.
Yes. These are the two ones that are the biggest concerns, running back and secondary. And we've gotten red flags about both of them the last 2 days with Will Brooks and Deshaun Bishop. I've got the secondary 9th. Now, there is more reason for excitement about the secondary this year than there has been in the past. But I still think you can't leave me. You can't say, given how bad they were the last 3 years, and now they have all these new faces, that all of a sudden they're not going to be a problem again. Like, I can't say it until I see it.
Agreed. Tight end is number 8. This, to me, after looking at your list, was the most volatile. Tight end could end up being number 3 by the end of the year.
Yeah, tight end is one of those where it's all potential. Ethan Davis is a rare athlete that we all think could be amazing. But you don't know if he's going to be amazing because you haven't seen him play like you have Nico in the Citrus Bowl. And you don't know anything about the other tight ends. Remember, Josh Heupel likes to alternate tight ends. He likes a receiving tight end and a blocking tight end. He wants Ethan Davis to be his receiving tight end, but we don't know if Miles Kitselman or Holden Stays can hold down that spot. So I just – and that's a hard position to pick up because with the blocking tight end, with the schematics that they run, there's a lot you have to pick up with that. You got to pick up more than the quarterback does in this system as the tight end sometimes.
No, I agree with that. Portions of the program brought to you by Don Self. That State Farm customer service still matters, especially when you're trying to get that claim for 40 years. Don Self and State Farm have built their business on taking care of their customers in the greater Chattanooga area. Call 423-396-2126 or go to donself.net. That's donself.net, 423-396-2126 or go to donself.net. Who's up next, Caleb?
Before we move on, I have to send a shout out to Travis because he says he's a Texas fan because he hates every SEC team that doesn't wear orange. And, Texas wears orange. So, nice to know you're a Texas fan, Travis. Just trolling you. I'm messing with you. Okay, so number 7 is, and this is going to be controversial again, offensive line. And
it's way low to me.
Let me explain why.
Okay.
Tennessee has 2 surefire bets. One very likely bet, which is John Campbell at right tackle. But you can't call John Campbell at right tackle surefire because you've never seen him play right tackle. And then I'll say a likely bet in Lance Hurd, but not very likely because you've never seen him play left tackle and you've never seen him play in Heupel's system, and he's learning Heupel's system. So, but that's 4 that should likely work out. They are a total question mark at left guard, a gigantic question mark that nobody knows how that's going to play out. And then there is no answer for their depth right now. And so when you look at that, I had to drop them down here because they genuinely don't have depth.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If they had depth, or if I could tell you that none of the starting 5 were going to be injured, where would you have them?
Okay, I'd have them 4 or 3 because then they'd only really have one question mark and to be left guard. But Lance Hurd is not a guarantee at left tackle, guys.
Well, I have gotten really good reviews. Really good, not off the record, but conversations. I've gotten really good reviews. I think there were some people that tried to start rumors that he had some sort of injury in preseason camp. I don't know what that was about. Sometimes the internet drives me crazy. Irony that we're here. Number 6, kickers and punters.
Yes. So, sorry.
Oh my goodness, there you go.
Did not mean to do that. Did not mean to do that during the show, guys. I apologize.
That's fine.
So yes, kickers and punters, number 6. It's a 50-50 proposition right now. They're set at punter. They have the best punter in college football, maybe in Jackson Ross. Problem is, I don't think Tennessee wants to use their punter that much this year. I think Josh Heupel does not want to use his punter. Now, there's questions at kicker with Charles Campbell gone. You think Josh Tuberville will fill the void, but you don't know yet.
No, that's fair. Now, you have quarterback at number 4.
Wait, you missed one.
Oh, did I miss one? Linebacker number 5. Sorry.
Yeah, starting with linebacker up, I just want to say up front, this is why I'm so high on Tennessee, Dave, because it's half the roster. These are the position units I have no concerns about. There is a 0% chance they will be problematic this year. And I'm starting with linebacker.
Yep. And we know of Arian Carter. We know of Keenan Pilley, but you also need to know of Jeremiah Thielander.
So they have depth. They have improvement.
Right. And Caleb Perry, I think, is going to be a really good player. Then you have quarterback at number 4.
Yes.
That surprises me because you're very high on Nico.
You get hurt. You need depth in any position. And you're the one who told me that Gaston Moore is beating out Jake Merklinger right now. So that's kind of now, again, it's number 4 because
I don't know that he's beating out Jake Merklinger. That was a discussion that we had. And I think there could be an argument made if something happened to Nico in the first month of the season. But no, I don't know that he's beating out Merklinger. That would be.
Put it this way, quarterback's down at number 4 because I can't guarantee myself that position is going to work out this year because if Nico gets hurt, we don't know if it's going to work out.
Fair. There's not great depth at that position, but is there ever great depth in college football at quarterback?
There's not great proven depth at that position. That doesn't mean that there's not depth. We just don't know. So that's why I have it at number 4. But yes, then in some places there is great depth. I mean, look, whatever you feel about him as a person, Dave, remember that coaching job Urban Meyer did in 2014 when he won the national title at Ohio State? His starting quarterback, Braxton Miller, went down. Then J.T. Barrett went down at the end of the year. And then he brings in Cardell Jones and goes and wins a Super Bowl. That's pretty darn good coaching.
The top 3 brought to you by the Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Use the promo code HOOKED for 10% off. The promo code HOOKED for 10% off. Wide receiver comes in at number 3.
Yes, wide receiver comes in at number 3. You can make a strong case for them number 1, honestly. And so basically wide receiver, we know who the number 1 go-to receiver is going to be, Brew McCoy. We know Squirrel White is probably going to be the slot guy. I think it's a safe bet. Whoever they pick between Mike Matthews, Chris Brazel, and Dante Thornton on the other side is going to work out. Not to mention there's Braylon Staley, Chaz Nimrod, and Caleb Webb showed promise where they could be effective last year. Nathan Leacock's on the roster. I had no questions at wide receiver. You could have like 3 injuries and they'll be fine there.
I believe the top 4, based off what I've been told in recent conversations, are going to be McCoy, White, Brazel, and Nimrod. Does that surprise you at all?
McCoy, White, Brazel, and Nimrod. No, that doesn't surprise me really.
I think Brazel's going to play on the outside. Defensive line. Now, again, this is different. So I'm going to kind of combine these. You got defensive line at number 2 and then edge rushers number 1. That means Tennessee's going to be really good up front defensively, right?
They are going to be incredible up front. I think this unit is going to be super elite. And I think you start with in the interior, Amari Thomas, Omar Norman-Lott, Bryson Eason, Elijah Simmons, Jackson Moy. All those guys are either contributors or potential superstars. The one defensive end spot that plays up on the line, Tyree West, Dominic Bailey. Those 2 are bound to work out, with Tyler Barron gone. And then an edge rusher, man, with reason it's number 1, not just James Pierce. Oh, also David Hobbs behind West and Bailey, but then an edge rusher, James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, and Dave. You've seen the clips. You've heard the coaches talk. Raw talent sounds like Jordan Ross could push James Pierce even.
He's not going to push James Pierce. Come on, Caleb.
The dude is amazing.
Okay,
the dude is amazing.
Push James Pierce.
The dude is amazing. No, James Pierce will be the starter this year. But Jordan Ross is incredible. He's incredible.
Okay, all right.
Put it this way. If James Pierce is Leonard Little, Jordan Ross is Sean Ellis.
I don't hate that. Sean Ellis was a first-round pick now.
I think Jordan Ross is a first-round pick. As was Leonard. And by the way, Sean Ellis was better in the NFL than Leonard Little was.
He was significantly better, but a lot of that was because of off-field issues.
Off-field issues, and Sean Ellis also played for a defensive-oriented team in the Jets for years, whereas Leonard Little was stuck in that Rams, greatest show on turf system for a long time. But yeah, Sean Ellis was better in the NFL. They both were Pro Bowlers, though.
Yep. Crystal's right. Nimrod putting in the work over star ratings, absolutely. And I like that guy last year. I mean, I think he's at the very least Ramel Keaton, but I think he's better than that, as a matter of fact. But if you're able to replace Ramel Keaton, that's a big, big factor.